from the great state of Texas, it's the Cynthia Austin Show with CMA Award winner, Cynthia Austin. Now, here's your host, Cynthia Austin.
Hello, television and online viewers. Welcome to the program. I'm Cynthia Austin. When you hear the words honor, courage, and commitment, what are your thoughts? Well, I immediately think about America's finest, our military. With us on the program this evening is Mr. Urshel Metcalf. The organization Honor, Courage, and Commitment is here in North Texas, and one of the things they do is to help veterans establish their businesses. Find out more about this organization when we come back in a moment. What are you waiting for? You know, that decision that you're waiting to be made, that's something that you're anticipating. Wait. That's a word sometimes we don't like to hear, but trust me, it can work to our best interest. You know, a lot of times when we're waiting for things to fall in place. We're waiting for the right people to be connected to. We're waiting with great anticipation. It can be a little disturbing because we want to wiggle, but it's worth it. What is that thing that you've waited for that you are so glad you didn't step in and intervene and abort the mission and cause that whole thing to not fall in place the way it could have or the way it should have? Let us know on Facebook, Cynthia Austin TV show. Wait, what is that thing you waited for that was well worth it? When we come back from Honor, Courage, and Commitment, Mr. Urshel Metcalf. Back in a moment.
The Cynthia Austin Show will be right back, right after these messages.
Honor, courage, and commitment. When I hear those three words, I think about our military. Honored to know this gentleman. Welcome to the program, Mr. Urshel Metcalf. Hi, Urshel.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. I've enjoyed talking to you with the camera off. It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you and to have the opportunity to talk to you today.
Well, girl, I'm excited to be here and just to share anything I can.
Okay, so Mr. Urshel, tell us a little bit about the organization Honor, Courage, and Commitment.
Honor, Courage, Commitment is a nonprofit that was started in 2011 and was started by a Marine veteran and a civilian who were in a MBA program together at Southern Methodist University. And in some of their discussions, the civilian was very patriotic, the Marine obviously was very Marine. And in some of their discussions, they were trying to figure out why some veterans were having success in their transition and why some were not. And so they decided that they would put together a program to begin to mentor some of the veterans, and they came up with 3 pillars of the organization that were mentorship, community service, and continuing education. They felt like those were 3 pillars that were contributors to having success. As we put them all together, it makes a lot of sense. And so, it makes a lot of sense as to why their success. People go into the military and what do we call it? they went into the service. So they're service-minded people in the first place. The biggest challenge and a lot of the conversation today that we hear in the media and news is about veterans with post-traumatic stress, veterans who are depressed, veterans who are killing themselves. And there's lots of organizations that focus on that. When I came to Honor, Courage, Commitment, I believe that language is important. And with all of that narrative, I really felt like a lot of what was going on was actually contributing to the problems that exist. And I was in combat during Desert Storm, and bombs flew over our head. No one was thinking about committing suicide. And that's because we had a mission. We had someone to our right and someone to our left. And we were thinking about getting the job done. That's what we do. The biggest challenge that I think a lot of veterans face and what's happened in our economic climate is they come back and they don't have a mission. And that's what leads to depression, whether you're a veteran or not. Anyone that isn't fulfilling their purpose, even if they're just working a job, they don't feel like they're accomplishing great things. And so that's the problem that we've decided to be the solution to help veterans rediscover their sense of purpose and find their next mission.
Do you find that oftentimes there are veterans who, before they even enlisted in the military, it's kind of like, you know, they were coming out of high school and not really clear on their plan, what they wanted to do in life, so they just decided, you know, I'll join the military. So it's kind of like going in with the idea of, I'd love to serve in the military, and they go in, and then when they come out, it's almost as if they didn't have an understanding of what they would like to do when they came out. Does that make sense to you?
It does make sense, and I think that used to apply a lot more than it does today.
Okay.
I think I joined the military in the 80s with a very specific purpose. And a lot of people that I knew were in that same boat. And people used to joke, you know, the judge gave me an option, go to jail or go into the military. None of that exists anymore. Majority of people join the military because there is a defined path. There is a path to a skill, a career. I did communications electronics. There are great jobs in the military. If you're from Texas, it's you get out and you can go to any school, any public school, and your tuition is paid. Not just the GI Bill, but things like the Hazelwood Act. So there are great benefits. So I find that a lot more veterans, people enlist into the military and they actually do have a plan of what they're trying to accomplish. And conversely, those people and the people who just joined before because they were patriotic in the past, those were the reasons why people joined before. They didn't know what was next, and so it was an option. Now people join with a lot more of a defined plan. More people get out with college degrees. More people get out and they're homeowners. And more people now join already having or starting much earlier a family. And so those things tend to lead to more stability in life.
Well, you know, I think that so much, a lot of education has been brought to the forefront as to what the military actually offers and what it does. Because when I have people ask me, they say, if you could do it all over again, what would you do differently? I said, I would still be in broadcasting. I said, but I would have joined the Air Force and studied broadcasting while in the Air Force.
Yeah, lots of people in the professional arena, lawyers, medical profession. It's a great way, one, to get your education paid for or significantly paid for, to get lots of training and skill at the highest level under some of the most intense pressure, and then leaving the military, performing those same tasks outside of that. You know, I tell people, you know, when I was working in technology as a civilian, you know, on the worst days, I would say, okay, well, we have a challenge, but no one's shooting at us. So we still have to do the same job. The pressure is definitely decreased. And so it's a great training ground for, especially if someone knows what their life and their passions are really about. If you can connect that with your military career, then that's just a double bonus.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I hear of a lot of professionals who say, I was in the military, and you know, and when you look at them, they have such a strong discipline and self-control and a focus. And I just think that I don't know. I just honor and love people who serve in the military because it's a twofold thing. It's where you're going to work every day and you're putting your life on the line. In most cases, you're serving your your country. You're being deployed to different parts of the world.
Right.
You know, you have a family. Sometimes those family members are left behind, and then sometimes they are. They get to travel with you.
Right,
I'm sorry.
right.
I'm seeing we're running out of time for this segment. When we come back, I'd like to talk to you more about your organization and how you help our military, the veterans, okay?
Awesome. Be glad.
The Cynthia Austin Show will be right back right after these messages.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to team-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys, preferably somewhere they would never look. Did that go okay? You have to provide an outlet for their creative expression. So good. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey. Ready for the...
Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
With us on the program today is Mr. Urshel Metcalf, and he's with Honor, Courage, and Commitment. And I am really enjoying this conversation with you. I must say, this is the first time I've ever interviewed someone with the military.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's just a sense of honor just to sit here and talk to you. And it's like, oh, wow, this gentleman, put his life on the line, got out there and has served this country, and then you're home and you're serving in an even greater way by assisting veterans with their businesses and their lives afterwards.
Right.
So I understand with Honor, Courage, and Commitment, you all help veterans with their businesses.
Correct.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. After World War II, almost half of the veterans who returned home became entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. Our country also experienced the greatest economic boom it's ever had. And so there's correlation there. I think that there's also some causation there because there are statistics that show that veterans are more successful as business owners than their civilian counterparts. They're also more likely to hire other veterans to work with them. And that number, as of a few years ago, 4 to 6% of veterans, when they left the military and returned home, started their own businesses. And then that also correlates with a tremendous economic decline. So one of the things that we felt like we could do is if we could empower veterans in finding their next mission to both launch their business, which isn't hard to do, but be successful and grow their businesses, then not only could we help them reintegrate back into civilian life, but we could also be an economic stimulus plan for the local communities. And we've seen that success since 2012. Over 90 veterans have attended our courses. Almost 40 businesses have been started, and just under $25 million in revenue has been created in the North Texas area based on those businesses.
Beautiful. So how do you all go about, what programs do you offer to assist these veterans with starting their businesses? Let's say someone come to you saying, I have an idea. What do you do?
Sure. So we have a 4-phase program, and they all have military names. So one is recon, pre-deployment, deployment, and occupation. In the recon course, which is the first phase, when someone just has that idea, we have a partnership with Southern Methodist University. They attend classes there one night a week and then attend classes another night a week at our facility, and they get training on vetting out that idea, building a lean business canvas, and really testing the market to see whether that idea is something that can be turned into a business. And we take that through the 4 phases, if they continue on, to not only develop that idea, but launch the business, validate the business, and then scale the business.
What do you, I read on your, where you all also assist them with office space.
Correct. We've opened up a veteran business center. So if you think of the co-working spaces that exist, like Regis, WeWork is a very popular and familiar one. So we have one in Farmers Branch, 7,000 square feet. We have closed door, full offices. We have co-working spaces, both shared co-working spaces and permanent co-working spaces, and lots of training room and opportunities, conference rooms for them to run their business. I tell veterans, Starbucks is a great place to pay too much for a cup of coffee, but it's not a great place to do business. Come to the Veteran Business Center, have your meetings there, do it in a professional environment that will help you present yourself and your business in a more professional way.
When you all opened the business center, because I understand you have a new facility now?
Correct.
Okay. When you opened that facility up, and I'm sure you did a grand opening, that kind of thing, when the veterans came in, when they saw what you all were doing and what you had to offer them as far as businesses go, did you have any people there at the opening who said, you know, this inspires me, this makes me want to go ahead and start that business I've been thinking about, knowing that they have the support of an organization who understands their language?
Absolutely. And the thing that excited most of the veterans is being able to build their business among other veterans and being able to work together. They instantly start cheering for and supporting each other and encouraging one another, because that's the nature of people who have served. So that camaraderie that many veterans miss when they leave the military, they can now come to a place and do their business and experience that same camaraderie. Whereas when I had an office at Regis, I showed up, I did my work, I may have said hi to someone at the coffee shop or at the little coffee bar, but other than that, everybody was there doing their own thing. In this Veteran Business Center, people are very interested in supporting and building one another, because we feel like we're supposed to win together. It's the nature of a veteran.
Earlier we were talking about veterans, those who, helping them to redefine their purpose when they're coming out. And how do you go about doing that? How do you go about helping them target what it is that they would like to be doing now that they no longer serve in the military?
That's an excellent question. We use a lot of tools. We talk to people about things like Simon Sinek's Start With Why, really getting into your purpose. We have partnerships with other organizations that come in, and we do strengths finders. We do different things to help them tap into who they really are, because the military may have made you a diesel mechanic because of what your scores were or what the needs of that branch of the service was. But that could very well not be tied to anything that you're passionate about. But I was a Marine, so whether I did electronics or whether I was a cook or whether I was on security, I was a Marine. So there's a mission that's tied to that. Once you leave the military, if that job isn't tied to your passion, then it's just a job. So one of the things that we do is we do different type of testing and assessments, and we partner with other organizations who do that to help them find out what they're really passionate about.
Okay. Seeing Nicole's letting us know that we're running out of time here. You know, time flies when you're having fun and
Absolutely.
and I always say having good conversation. And I have really enjoyed talking to you, Mr. Urschel. And I just want to say I appreciate you for the work you do, and you and all of the veterans and those who serve in the military. Appreciate your honor, your courage, and your commitment.
Awesome.
And peace and blessings to you. Thank you so much. And for you, audience, if you would like to find out more about this great organization and how you can contribute, be it, I guess, volunteer or make donations, go to our website, CynthiaAustinShow.com. Back in a moment.
It's such a struggle to understand what you desire and your commands. I wanna please you in all I do. Consume me, Lord, till there's only you. My life is in your hands, I give it to you. An empty vessel under review. Mold me, shape me into what you want me to be, till there's nothing left of me. Lord, use me. I want a mind that thinks like you. I want a heart that's set on truth, Lord. I want to love with sacrifice, so that people see Christ, so that people see Christ in me. Let me show them who you are. When they look at me, let them see your scars. Your reflection is my desire. Consume me, Lord, with your holy fire. Mold me, shape me into what you want me to be, till there's nothing left of me. Lord, use me. Yeah. I want a mind that thinks like you. I want a heart that's set on truth, Lord. And I want to love with sacrifice, so that people see Christ, so that people see Christ.
Let them see you when they see me. A broken mirror reflecting the King. Empty vessel down on my knees so the Lord pours out what I'm destined to be. Not mine, but your will be done. I gotta share what you've overcome. I see the cross and it weighs a ton, but now I take it up and now I choose to run. The race is on, bring hope where hope is gone. Trying to put you in the place of what they focus on. Your love alone, Lord, is a reason to praise. The truth of your love, reflecting your grace. I'm made in the image of God, I feel in my heart. The truth is Jesus is Lord. His word is my hope and my sword. On one accord, together we can change the world. Come on.
I want a mind that thinks like you. And I want a heart that's set on truth. People see Christ, so that people see Christ. I want a mind that thinks like you. And I want a heart that's set on truth, Lord. I want to love with sacrifice, so that people see Christ, so that people see Christ in me.
The Cynthia Austin Show will be right back, right after these messages.
That's all the time we have for this program. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to our wonderful guest, Mr. Urshel Metcalf, with honor, courage, and commitment. Thank you to Mr. Metcalf and the fine people at the organization who are helping the veterans and helping them with starting their own businesses. Follow us on Facebook at Cynthia Austin TV Show. Love everybody the way you want to be loved, and treat everybody the way you want to be treated. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Cynthia Austin. Bye-bye.
The Cynthia Austin Show will be right back right after these messages.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to team-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys, preferably somewhere they would never look. Did that go okay? You have to provide an outlet for their creative expression. So good. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey. I'm ready for the...
Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.